If you close your eyes right now, your sense of self is localized directly behind them. For most of us, awareness is trapped inside the skull, crowded by a constant feed of sensory noise and mental chatter. The standard cultural assumption is that meditation is the antidote to this, that it's a matter of sitting quietly until the mind eventually relaxes and the noise fades. But practitioners who push past that initial layer of quiet encounter something entirely different. The structure of awareness actually reorganizes itself, and the experience of physical reality begins to warp in bizarre ways. What starts as a quiet mind escalates into spontaneous shifts in body heat, the complete loss of sensation in the limbs, and an overwhelming feeling that the physical form is dissolving. This diagram illustrates exactly how that happens. Achieving meditative insight relies on a predictable, 5-stage systematic dismantling of physical reality. The process begins at stage 1, once external distractions and internal dialogue finally weaken. Without that constant input, the structure of your awareness loses its usual anchor. As we can see in this vector illustration, consciousness stops feeling centralized in the head. It literally drops downward into the torso, marking the entry point of stabilized absorption. With prolonged sitting, this descent triggers a physiological anomaly. A heat map visual shows the sudden loss of warmth in the abdominal region. That heat shifts specifically toward the lower back and steadily radiates outward until it fills the limbs. Advanced practitioners document this specific sequence of heat transfer consistently. It operates as an objective, major milestone, proving that the mind has achieved deep, stabilized absorption. In stage 3, the residual internal tension entirely dissolves, causing the brain's physical map of the body to glitch. The immediate result is a wave of sensory anomalies. The nervous system registers intense electrical tingling, accompanied by the distinct physical sensation of floating. The physical form stops feeling dense. The body feels completely weightless, transparent, and vapor-like. By the time the mind transitions into stage 4, these extreme sensations peak and then drop out completely. All ordinary bodily sensation fades to zero. This sensory blackout creates a severe psychological shift. Without constant tactile feedback, the mind's inherent attachment to possessing a physical form rapidly weakens. The resulting vacuum forces awareness to expand outward. The sense of self becomes entirely non-local, detached from its physical anchor. With the localized body essentially gone, awareness crosses the final threshold into a space of high-level absorption. At this advanced level, deep-seated emotional suffering patterns lose their structural integrity and dissolve. Ordinary physical boundaries disappear entirely. The perception shifts from observing an external environment to experiencing profound, boundless unity with it. Practitioners interpret this state not as a hallucination, but as a direct, unmediated insight into the actual nature of reality. Floating bodies and boundless space are intense experiences, and it is easy to view them as supernatural signs. However, treating these sensations as mystical often creates an emotional attachment that stalls the process. If a practitioner begins to crave or worship the sensation of floating, they stop the work of refining their awareness. This chart organizes phenomena into mechanical stages of progress. We move from physiological adjustments to energetic corrections and finally deep stabilization. Navigating these requires a neutral response. Practitioners must observe sensations without clinging, focusing instead on stabilizing the mind and refining awareness. Even as physical boundaries seem to dissolve, the priority remains this continuous refinement. The goal is to reach a state of stabilization where the mind is no longer reactive to the very phenomena it has produced.